Good morning, everyone. Professor Wyatt here, reaching out with some good news as we head into the weekend. You did a really good job on your outlines, getting them into me on time, and I appreciate that. I've tried to get to everyone, I believe I have. And of course, I did a bad job, I think, trying to relate the real meat of what this speech is. So, first, the good news. I'm going to extend the deadline from Friday night at midnight to Sunday night at midnight. So you have a little breathing time. And I am also going to post the final assignment, and you can get started on that because our last day in class is, I think, August 10th. And so we're going to be racing to the finish. But I'll have more to say about that. But just so you know, I'm going to put that up for you so you can begin to think your way through this final assignment. As it pertains to the problem speech, I have indicated, and I did that last night, that I want some stories in this one. And what I mean by that is we did our informative speech and we got better. And then we did another informative speech that included use of stats and studies and citing sources. So that was good. You always have that in your back pocket. But remember, we had the sequence called stat, study, and story. And we still use that sequence, but maybe in the past, the other two were like 1/3 story and 2/3 research and clinical stuff. This one flips it a little bit, and I want more storytelling in this one and less of a reliance on clinical. Now, if you go back and look at the example I gave you, the Columbine shooter's mother, if you haven't seen it, go watch it, all right, because it's tough, but it does a great job of doing what I call zooming out, which means she started out and it was really personal, okay? And she got everyone really close. And then she zoomed out and she talked about some of the nationwide statistics as it pertains to mental health issues and guns and some of the issues that led up to the Columbine shooting. And then she zoomed back in and made it real personal again as she talked about her own struggles with mental health and acceptance of the incident and her role in it. And then she zoomed out and she talked about some of the wider, broader statistical evidence as it pertained to mental health and suicide and some of the feelings that she experienced. And then she made it real personal again. And that's what I'm looking for here is you can have as many stories as you want in this one. You don't just need one, which is why I said start with a story. Put a face on the problem rather than the statistics, which I think are kind of cold and don't get you really close. Start with a story. Think of it this way. I'm going to put a face on the problem, whether it's hunger or depression or anxiety or any of the other issues that you're bringing forward. Put a face on it for me to start. Then you can proceed as you have. That's really what I'm looking for here. As you know, what I don't like is to pull up your video and to watch you read. I just don't see a lot of value in that. I was in politics for 20 years. I've given literally hundreds and hundreds of speeches, and I know that the best speeches are always this balance of hard, cold facts. They call them cold facts for a reason. Hard, cold facts and humanized personal stories that help make sense of the facts and make it human. So, of course, as you do this one, I want to see you become more of a storyteller because you know what that does to your voice. It makes your voice human. As I say, your voice has to match the moment. And so it's impossible to tell the story of a little girl in India who has no food and no running water and to do it like this with a voice that is reading. That doesn't work. That's not what I want. Okay? So take as much time as you like. I love it when I pull up a speech. The first thing I can see is how much time. And when they're 12 minutes and 15 minutes, I know that you couldn't have written out a narrative that goes 12 minutes long. It'd be 25 pages. So this is kind of where we're getting at, this balance and this mentality that a good speech does not have to be just a download of facts, because that's cold. It should be this balance between the facts and the humans, and the facts and the humans. Or if you're doing one on animals, the facts and the animals. Okay? So this is what I'm looking for in this speech. You have a couple extra days. I'm going to put up that final assignment, and I'll have more to say about that over the weekend. And please hang with me. I now have 100 students, and I can do about 5 in an hour. So it takes me a long time to cycle through all your speeches. So I appreciate your patience there, but you deserve the attention. I'm not just going to give you a checkbox thing, that takes me a minute to do. I do watch your speeches. I consider every speech you do a work of art, and they are art. You start with nothing, just like an artist starts with a blank canvas, and through your thoughts, in this case, your words and your voice are the substitute for the colors and the brush strokes. But it is a work of art to me, and so I give it the respect that it deserves. I watch them. So as we work towards the end of the semester, it's going to get crunched, but we'll come through it together. I promise. Any questions, reach out. And by all means, if you're ready to do your speech, I appreciate the early submissions. Okay? Have a great time. And remember, it's called I Have a Problem. So the ownership matters. Taking ownership of what matters to you. Watch the Columbine video. And remember, zoom in, zoom out. Take care.